Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me and welcome to Conversations with Coaches. For those of you that don't know me, I am Jennifer Tamborski. I'm the CEO and Chief Strategist at Virtual Marketing Experts. And I have a unique opportunity to connect with coaches across the world. Today I have on our call Sarah Hall. And Sarah, why don't you introduce yourself and just let everybody know who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
Yeah, so I am Sarah Hall. I am a breast cancer survivor, and I'm currently going through the training to become a health and wellness coach. I'm in the last stage. I've been taking on practice clients, and will be looking to grow my business soon. I am looking to have a niche in breast cancer survivors, anybody who's had the diagnosis. Because that's kind of the journey that I have walked, and it's nice to have someone hold your hand through that.
I totally agree. And I love this conversation because I think it's one that people don't have very often. There's a lot of stigma, I think, still when it comes to cancer or breast cancer. And they don't necessarily talk about their journey and all of the things that led up to it and how they made it through it. So I would love the audience just to hear a little bit about your story and just your journey to this point.
Sure. So I was diagnosed with cancer at 31 weeks pregnant with my second kiddo. We knew we were not going to have any more than two, which was kind of nice, but still really it hit hard knowing that I found out after the fact I would not be able to have more children. So that is kind of tough. I feel like it's kind of a funny parallel. There's a lot of things about childbirth that people don't tell you, like, oh, hey, you're going to wear some pretty crazy underwear after, and this is going to happen, or this is going to be a side effect. So there's so many things that people don't tell you, and it's a very much the same with breast cancer. You kind of hear this diagnosis and you have a lot to take on, but you don't consider, like, I'm going to need a recliner if I have surgery, or who's going to help me make meals, or who's going to take care of my kids when I can't lift my arms up past my waist. Like, there's a lot of things that you don't consider, and it's nice to have somebody who can at least talk you through it and has been there and can warn you. I'll never forget a friend who was like, okay, we're going to go to Target. You're having your first baby. I'm going to buy you some like granny panties. So it's very much the same. Like, okay, I'm a friend. I'm here. I've been here. And here's what you can do. And here's how you can think about it. And a lot of what you go through during your breast cancer journey is mind work, like just making sure your mind is in a good place and you're able to take it on and to like notice that is a big part of your healing.
Yeah, absolutely. I know before the call we were talking a little bit, and one of the things that you said struck me, that you're more than your diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for you to share just your insights into that with our audience, how that really hits for you.
Mm-hmm. So I think when you're this person up until you have this diagnosis, and then people kind of I always say the head tilt when people ask you, how are you doing? And their head kind of goes to the side. Like, that they're not asking, how are your kids in school, or how's things at home? Like, they're asking, how are you doing with your diagnosis? And like, are you sad? And they're asking that. And I even still get that 2 years after the fact. I've been done with all of my treatment and surgeries and everything for over a year now. And I still get that. And people, I feel like people ask it to be nice, but they're also asking because everyone is scared. That diagnosis is out there for everybody, and you never know when it's going to happen, and it'll hit you like a ton of bricks and out of nowhere. I actually even talked one of my friends into going on vacation with us once because I was like, hey, tomorrow you may get breast cancer. Like, not saying it in a mean way, but like, I think the point I'm trying to say is that you are more than a diagnosis, but know that those diagnoses are out there, and rise above them. Be more. Like, I love when people ask me and they do that head tilt, how are you doing? And I am able to be like, I'm great. Like, I'm doing this, and this, and I've got this going for me. And not that there's not things going on in my life, but it's just how I have chosen to go about it, and the things that I've decided to surround myself with throughout my journey.
So very true. So one of the other things that you said just a little bit ago about your mindset and recognizing, because it looks like you have an incredible mindset around all of this. So what do you have some tips for people on, kind of shifting that mindset when they get that diagnosis or they're going through breast cancer?
Yeah, I think everybody is different. Sometimes I feel like when it hits you, it takes you a minute to kind of step back and breathe. I think that was probably one of the best things that I did. Was my husband would give me days where if I needed to cry, I'd like let the emotion out and I cried about it. If I needed to have some space to sit down on my computer and like do some research on the drugs I was going to have to get for chemo, or I needed to completely immerse myself in the information. But that's how I healed. Like knowing the most that I could about what I was going to have to go through helped me heal and helped me get prepared. Some people, it's not that way at all. Some people don't want that. They don't want the information. They just want to do what their doctor says and walk away from it. And I think it's recognizing within yourself exactly what you need, and making sure that you use the things in your environment, your support systems, and opportunities with, there's a bunch of different resources as far as nonprofit organizations, and making sure that you surround yourself with the things that are going to help you.
I love that. That just, I think it's so important for people to have community as well, especially when they're going, because having your husband allowing you to go through what it was that you went through, and beyond the breast cancer, the people that have breast cancer, the community that surrounds them, what would you say to them?
Um, I mean, thank you. Most of the time, those people are the people who've gone through it themselves. I had a few people in my life who were survivors themselves. So I had a mentor. I had many people who just reached out and were like, "Hey, I've had this. I've been there," and told me what to expect, and I could reach out to them at a moment's notice via Messenger and just get whatever I needed. A lot of people don't have that, or a lot of people don't want that. So just making sure that you have the voice to put out there what you want. If you aren't wanting somebody to set up a meal train for you, just making sure that you're like, I'm comfortable with this, and voicing that. The community is going to step up and help when they see something that, I feel like people kind of support what they're scared of, and they also want to know that they've helped in whatever way that they can. So if you are kind of one of those people who loves the support, that's great. Take it and say yes and say thank you. If you're one of those people who doesn't love the support, sometimes it's not necessarily for your healing, but it's for their healing. They want to help you, and they want to feel like they've done everything they could. So, yeah.
So do you have any suggestions for, people like your husband who has a spouse or significant other that's been diagnosed? Like, what do they say? What do they do? What's the best thing that your husband did for you? Like, what was the thing that really helped you the most?
Hmm. Um, my husband and I have a pretty open communication in our relationship. So creating a safe space for both of us to talk about how we're feeling. I think we had many a conversation where we both just cried together. I remember one day, you'll probably hate that I tell the story, but I remember one day he called and was just bawling. And he said, I tried to go to the post office and I lost it when I got up to the window to talk to the lady or whatever. And I ended up leaving work that day just so I could come home so that like we could just cry together. And I think it hit him in that moment. And I had moments where it hit me too. But I do remember many times he was like, how are you so strong through this? And so just being in open communication about how you're feeling and being open to it, not like come on, like get off the couch and do, a partner just needs to be supportive in wherever that person is.
That's awesome. Okay, we are coming towards the end of this, and I know there are going to be people out there that got a lot of benefits from hearing your story and hearing your suggestions. So, what is the best way for them to connect with you?
Yes. Right now, I just have my personal email, which is absolutely open for anybody to contact me. I'm on Facebook, Sarah Hall. I do have a blog. We launched our new and improved website. It's called Hiccups to Harmony. I don't have any coaching on there yet. That will be coming in the next couple of months, but it's hiccupstoharmony.com. And my personal email, sjhall573@gmail.com. And I'm open to questions or supporting anybody anytime.
That's so great. I will actually have all of this information in the show notes below so you can reach out to Sarah going forward. And I guess, Sarah, is there anything else that you want to say to the audience? Anything that you want to let them know about you, about your journey, or about your coaching?
Nope. My coaching, I'm hoping to launch really my coaching in the next couple of months. And I'm just looking for that to just grow, and always looking for clients. I will probably be doing coaching for anybody in general who wants to make any kind of life changes.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today, Sarah. And thank you everyone in the audience for hopping on. Please feel free to connect with Sarah in the future, and we will talk to you soon.